Hello everybody, Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader at TheTechTrader.com. These are the charts of the day. Well, very strong action in a lot of the stocks we follow, and some of our swing trades are having a good time. So let's go over them. AMPE, Ampio, which we first recommended about 4 weeks ago, you can see the stock popped out, broke out, ran up to resistance and backed off, but held it, the trend line right there, and the support zone. Has moved up nicely. If you take a look closely, you'll see that slowly but surely it's accelerating, so is volume. Looking for a move to about 9. Maybe 9.25, something like that, short term. Secondary target about 10.5, 3/4. BCRX, another stock acting well after it broke out here, a big volume, crossed the moving averages, lateral price resistance. Put a swing on it, falling wedge, tested, filled the gap, tested moving averages and price support, and moved up for about 6 days. Then stalled for a couple, moving back up again. Not a big move today, 32 cents or a little less than 3%, but the volume was decent. I think it has a chance short term of testing the 13.25 range. We get through that, you're looking at a $17, $18 stock. BDSI, yet another. Broke out about a week ago. We put a swing on it. It moved up nicely to the top of the short term channel. Look at this nice little 3-day flag. Low volume ebb. I'm looking for 16. Top of the channel says the same thing. DXM, yet another swing trade. After the big run up and pullback, it coiled, broke out, consolidating, it's going again. Looking for 13.5, 3/4. EA, up $1.09 or 3% today. Almost 6 million traded. Much more importantly, it popped out of the consolidation flag type pattern we've been talking about with a thrust today of, like I said, $1.09 or 3%. But my target now is at the 40 range. I think we may get there pretty quickly. First Solar finally broke back out. Step back and look at the overall chart pattern. You'll see major rising channel here, held the falling wedge or so that was in here. Let's call it that pattern right there. Broke back out today as the stock popped 228 or 3.4%, as I said. 44.9 million. The best volume in a couple weeks, augur well for a run-up and a test of the 74 range. GTAT, more up, more good action. See the stock had a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders type pattern. Broke through the neckline, reversed and tested. Reversed that, and now we're up against the double top here. 1944, 1934, today's high, 1917. So we have room to make a move and really thrust if this gets going. Eventually, mid-channel targets near 22. My longer-term target, intermediate or secondary, 28 plus. GWPH, what a great day today that had. As it opened strong, pulled back, we bought it. Looking at the 1 minute chart, it's really impressive. Until the end of the day, of course, when it pulled back. But here's the pop, pullback. The nice action. Here's your 1 minute. Oops, sorry, hang on a sec. There you go. There's your 1 minute chart. The pop, the coil, the wedge, and then the run up to nice highs over 90. 90.96 today. But the overall structure of the pattern, the way I have it right now, is something around a long-term rising channel with a coil, a little bit of a movement upward. Today, the real acceleration with the breakaway gap took place up 3.6 million. Now, even though it did break out, I want to point out that after hours, it had dropped off pretty substantially from about 89 range down to 83 before bouncing. There was a secondary done, and that's the cause of that. But the overall pattern still tells me there's a decent probability that at some point this is going to be in the 115 to 25 range mid-channel. Mid-channel is more like 115, and then the upper channel is 155.60. Horizon Pharmaceuticals. Well, beautiful run-up earlier in the year, and then it spiked up into the top, came down, held support there, coiled today, popping 88 cents or 6%, 3.3 million. If we can break out above here, I think we're going to go to 18, 19 zone. Intermune's been steady as she goes, and steady up every day. Up another 87 cents or 2%. And I'm looking for a stock to make 50.52. JCPenney, we haven't discussed this in a while. I still want to let you know that I'm considering this a bottoming pattern with a left shoulder ahead and a right shoulder complex. The stock had gone into a funk and a kind of a coiling, narrowing pattern. It appears that today it popped out. Volume picked up to 13.8 million. I'm going to have to see whether it does make a move, but the next move is anticipated is about 985, 990. And then beyond that, it could get this stock upwards of 12.5. Maxwell, still liking this stock. Not sure why anybody even doubts it based on this pattern. You can see a little bit of deterioration here technically, but that's kind of normal during a consolidation process, which, by the way, I think this is involved in. As you can see, the stock resistance up around the 1830 area, and we get through that, we can see 20 and 21.5. Nice rising channel, good technicals. OVTI, exceptional pop here, coil, flag, and a rising flag. Looking very good. Looking for 27.8. PTX, not up a lot today, 2.2%, but the key being it made another new high and followed through after yesterday's breakout of the flag. Here. Looking for more upside. Top of the channel says the possibilities are we could see the stock somewhere around 11 plus. Solar City, very, very important technical day. He broke the declining tops line and this one, and lateral price resistance, and the 3 moving averages in the last couple days. But today, spiking 965 or 17.6%, and a whopping 24 million plus. That's the biggest volume ever seen on Solar City. Fantastic day today for that stock. And SPWR, which we put a swing trade on a couple days ago, you can see the way this is breaking and moving sharply. First target's 44, second target's 51, in that range. Longer term, I could see 60. SUNE, good day for that one too. Broke out of the wedge yesterday. Today it followed through and got through the March high of 21.90 by reaching 22.65 and backing off 50 cents. Still up 64 cents or 3%, 20 million. Now looking at the long-term chart, I wouldn't be shocked to see this 30.32 down the road, but the intermediate or short-term target is 25.6. So, and last is VDSI, which finally broke out of that beautiful coil it was in 2 days ago. Stalled for an inside day near resistance, and then today broke out. Still looking for 14, 14.5, and that should be the initial first target. Second target, 16, 17 zone. This is HB saying that's it for tonight. Talk to you in the trading room tomorrow. Good night.